And I go, so I had a list of guys, and Ronnie was the first one to come over. And then after Ronnie came over, it was over. Like,
yeah.
I just go, hey guys, that's it.
No doubt. Yeah. And it's perfect. I mean, with Ronnie's play-by-play stuff and your like color stuff on there. And man, it's a really good listen. I'll be honest. I mean, I've never really enjoyed listening to other games down here ever. This is the first time I actually really like listening to the games. You guys talking. It's for someone, obviously we watch it, but I think just the way you guys actually, come to the games, it's just a whole different world. And it's coming from two guys that really have a background in football, and that's beneficial.
Both of us have actually, like, it's like being on the field. We know that same lingo. Hunter, you go back a little bit further, but I mean, I could communicate with Hunter. I remember not too long ago, and we knew what we were talking about with just moving our freaking hands. You know what I mean, Hunter? I mean, that's just the way you communicate sometimes.
Yeah.
So for people like you guys to relate, that's the easy part, And then the good thing is, which I appreciate from Ron, is like, listen, you could walk away from the video and you could still picture in your head what's going on, because we started out radio and stuff, So and listen, if there's somebody that can break down a game, it's this guy right here, man.
No doubt.
He just breaks it down.
Ronnie, did you know that this is something that you had in your arsenal?
No. Let me tell you something, man. Well, off the record, for years, well, sitting up in the booth in varsity during games out of town in LA, San Diego, all throughout these years, I'd sit by guys that were doing radio, they put us up in the press box by some guys, and, there would be dudes going, I go, man, I'd walk away. I could do that. I would like to try it. And then when they give this dude a try, and they gave Tony Leone a try, and I'd always hit up Bronco, coach, give me 5 minutes or let me try a quarter, and I just wanted to try it, Justin. To be honest with you, I just wanted to try it. Why? Because my whole life, dude, that's all I did. I just listened to sports. When I was a little kid, I had a radio. I listened to the Lakers, Dodgers. I had I'll say it in the interview, but dude, when you listen to Vince Scully, Chick Hearn, those guys are icons. Nobody will touch them, man. I would be doing homework, dude. And I'm listening to a Dodger game, or doing homework, listening to the Lakers, and being able to focus, So it was cool stuff, and no, I didn't think dude, and like it's not what you know, it's who you know. So if I didn't know this dude right here, I would never had a chance, I guess.
But he's correct in that point. But what happened was, like, okay, listen, this happened. I know you could be recording. I don't give a shit, but
I hit record just so I don't forget to. We're going, but we can start like as far as structurally whenever. It's not a big deal.
So like the thing was with Ron, like I didn't have nowhere to go. I go, well, the whole leading up to the story's cool. We started with iPhones, dude. Didn't even know what the hell I was doing, but what it was I knew the coaches that would let me go on there and do what the hell I want. And if and I gotta let people on there, so I knew the coaches coming off of refereeing. I had been off of refereeing for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I can, when you ask me how it all started, I can tell you, because I'm gonna be real quick on that part. But then I go, well, shit, I gotta get somebody I can trust that. Like I just said with Hunter, we can communicate with hand signals. We could, like, I can go like this and he knows, hey, I want to talk. Well, I coached with them. I played ball with them. Our mentality was the same. And we hung around, our families are tight. So, all right, you know what? And like I said, I'll go into it again, but, let me give Ronnie a try. I go, look, we had the 204 Qualcomm game up there. And I go, Ron, since we know the kids, we're not going to, we know the numbers, we know all the kids, let's just broadcast this game. That took an hour and a half and we just talked football. And I go, that's it. We're closing it right there.
Yeah.
Because, and it just grew. But it's really funny though, because our first game, I went play by play and I fucking sucked. We didn't.
It was Gila Rig.
Yeah, it was like, what the fuck are we doing? I go, we suck. We're like stepping on each other, and it's like, oh my God.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so then it took a couple of games, and it just flowed. Flowed. Because I'm more into
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
It's a weird thing to get used to. Like our first podcast with my dad, and I didn't say one word.
So this dude
I was so nervous.
This dude was a ghost during the thing, you know. But yeah, it's really just, and like you said, it's finding your groove, finding how it works for each other. And I mean, I know on this podcast, I lead it. That's just how I am. I leave it, and I went Hunter to jump in and interject and do those things. But it's, you know, you just find that right balance to, you know, for each person that's involved. Yeah,
that's how it is, man.
It just happens. You have a conversation. I go, Ronnie, let's go back to the back of a tailgate and watch the football game from the back of a tailgate, and let's talk football. Yeah, and that's what happened. And then it was natural. It was natural for him to take over, even though I might start it, but then with the color, because I'm more into the color. Like I said, that's why I love Junior Donald's interview so much, because I like that behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
And Ronnie's your dude. I go, Ronnie, how in the hell? He practices, of course, every day. And then he goes to a game and he's got the kids' numbers like that. And I go, fuck, I can't even remember what to say on, you know, for my sponsors.
That was, I was thinking about that the last game I watched, and I was like, man, I mean, how because I mean, sometimes you don't have correct rosters, so sometimes those are hard, but it's like how quickly you picking up some of these kids' names when you know, it's not like it's a pro or college league where you're seeing these kids from the other schools all the time. It's a quick glance. I mean, I don't know how you can be looking at that going, you know, number 2, you know, Seth Shaw on the tackle, like without knowing that you're not paying attention to that Imperial High School all the time. And that's got to take some, that's got to be difficult. Yeah, for sure.
No, and then coaches give us different rosters. You know, we like the name and then the number. I don't want player number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, because when you're looking real quick, you go number 2. Well, that's not his number. His number, and that jacks us up all the time. So we have a lot of stuff. Hey, listen, I went to go do the Imperial game. We set everything out here in the living room. We get ready to go. And then, oh, hey, listen, we're going to take Sarah's car. Then I forget all my fucking notes. So it took almost a quarter to mentally adjust to the game. And I go, thank you for, like, if it hadn't been for Ronnie adjusting, having his prep work, we would have sucked on you know, it would have been really bad. But, you know, at the same time, the bad thing about that, see, I have to coordinate the connections at the schools. You know, of course, we all have a full-time job. Okay. I have to make sure that that where we're sitting, you know, all the equipment, is it going to be right? Every school has a different equipment. We have 2 setups that we go with depending on their equipment. Yeah. So with me and Joaquin doing all that stuff, it's really hard for me to do the broadcast. So that's why Ron is in charge of all broadcasting, because I just want, but he's coaching. So it's hard. And it's hard. Like I can answer a call in the middle of the day, not a big deal. For him, it's a little bit different. Then he coaches. Yeah. And then there is that thing that he coaches where.
You don't want John Self telling you, what the fuck are you looking at your phone for so long, Ronnie? Like, if I dig in my pocket, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, you're coaching at the high school?
Yeah, Brawley High.
I didn't know that.
This year, you know, the pandemic year. So the staff that John put together was just whoever he could get. I mean, Rick and I are JV, so we brought up JV guy. You know, Rick and myself, Brandon Van Diver. Yeah. That's it, you know, and then we had a couple of other guys like Mark Valdez, but he couldn't show up because of work and all that. But so, you know, this pandemic season, Justin, man, was just, you know, they, from one day to the other, one day it wasn't going to happen. Boom. The next happened, dude. And it's just like a dive, like jumping off a cliff, dude, just waiting to hit. Oh,
yeah. Yeah. See, they said, hey, 2 weeks, you got a game in 2 weeks. Whoa, listen.
Yeah. Yeah, I was certain this thing wasn't going to go down this year. I was like, there's no way they're having a season this year.
That's what we thought either.
Yeah.
But I did have a feeling it would be league only. And I go, okay, it's good. But look, we've had to change our venues a lot. Like, okay, now we're doing a game Friday night and Saturday night. We're adjusting all the time, man. So, and it's hard to do 2 games, believe it or not. People go, well, just plug in your camera into the outlet right there and just start recording. I go, that was my mentality too, though. Dude, we got 10 suitcases, 2 Pelican suitcases of all our shit, man. Yeah. And then wires. We got 150 feet because you never know what you're going to expect. We got extension cords, you know. It's
the preparation that goes into, I'm sure it just goes into producing your own thing, and then not knowing what their, you know, like you said, what their system's going to be like, what the Wi-Fi is going to be like at the place. I mean, you know, or the, you know, whatever data or however it's broadcasting directly. I mean, that's it's difficult down here. I'm even more so, I would think.
It's difficult, and lucky. That's where I say Joaquin comes in. And we've added now the writing with Jalen Fong, and I mean, dude, we're kind of doing stuff that where articles would come out 2 days later. We're doing stuff overnight.
Yeah.
And then Jonathan, his videos. I mean, shit, this guy
Yeah.
brought it to another level.
No doubt.
This guy brought it to another level, and so like everybody's stepping up their game. And the good thing about this is we get new customers every year because there's a new group of people, and then we keep our old ones.
Yeah.
So it's that's my philosophy of it. I mean, we need it. I don't see. You have NFHS, which says high school games over there, but all they have is the film. They don't have no commentary.
Yeah. No, you're bringing something unique to our area and the surrounding areas that you're gonna. But even if in our area here, the exposure. I mean, you'll have more people next year that are, I'm not gonna go to a game. I'm just gonna watch it and listen to it. Even when it is fully open, you'll have people that just would rather this. I mean, easy it is for me to turn around and sit right here and watch that thing, and right here, and I'm drinking right here, hanging out. I don't have to be there. I mean, there's an experience for people like going to games. I love going to games and being on the sideline doing that thing. But yeah, you're gonna have people that really love this aspect like that. I'm gonna chill and watch a game then.
But there's also a drawback to that, though. So it's one of those interesting things, Justin, that look, it's great for the fans. It's really great for the fans. But then we go to practices. I go to practices on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and go talk to the coaches. And you know what? I don't even rely on, I don't want their plays. I want to know the backside stories. That's what I do. And then Ron usually takes care of the other stuff, like we said earlier. The reason I was getting to that point was because when we first started 2018, 19, we were just going to do radio. We didn't have a home. We did not have a home. We had our equipment. So I didn't know CJ Johnson real good. I didn't know him real good. Yeah. But I reached out to him. I go, look, CJ, and I was straight up honest with him. I go, look, CJ, I'm waiting to Brawley to see if they'll allow us. He goes, what, to broadcast? And I go, yeah, well, they already have one. And I go, well, I know it, but listen, I got an opportunity because I kind of want to be in Brawley. And then I was like, Will, we want you in Brawley. These people are going to leave. We want you in Brawley. Get your feet wet. And I go, look, all right, perfect. It's going to work out good. Those people haven't left, but anyways, it doesn't matter. So CJ was so, I owe CJ, we owe CJ. CJ goes, Will, if you want to do our games, you got it. And then next, Billy called me the week before Friday night, and he goes, hey, Will, you're in, man. You can come and do our games. And I called CJ, and CJ said, and we still have a great relationship. And, we actually did 3 games of them. We were going to do 4, but there were some issues, and we decided not to do it for whatever reason. But we did the wrestling over there, and we have a great relationship with Hope, but we want to focus that way. I feel Brawley's a little like Hopeville a little bit over there. I kind of like it. So yeah, we didn't have a home. We didn't have nowhere to go. So when you're a Brawley people, nobody's going to welcome you at no other field. Nobody is going to welcome you, And that's just the way it is. That's the way so we're in El Centro and we're doing the Bell game. So we're there early, and the fans are there early because it's Bell game. This guy goes up to me, hey guys, how you guys doing? Oh, VSN, you guys always hate on us. Like you guys are from Brawley. I go, have you seen our website? He goes, no, I haven't. He goes, I go, look who's on the front cover. And it's my thing is, look, you win the league, you're going on the cover. It's Centro's front. Oh, dude, that's cool. Okay, listen, who went to Texas? Yeah, you guys did. Well, shit, what do you mean we don't like? Here we are. We went to Texas.
Exactly. It's a Valley thing, though, that's for sure. It's just, they know you from Brawley, but yeah, you guys are definitely you don't give off any bias on anything that I've ever I've heard.
Yeah. This guy's probably the biggest biased guy around. I mean, we've had to say like
Brawley's offense is better than everyone's else. No, Ron.
No, the first year though, and he's off 10, 20, 30, he's off. And then Imperial scores 25-yard score touchdown pass.
That's a 25-yard scamper and a touchdown.
But you know what? And check this out, Hunter, man. Okay, so last year when we came on board, I took it that we were the voice of the Wildcats. We're the voice of the Wild. We are the Wildcats.
Yeah, we were with.
We weren't, And it wasn't until our first simulcast, when we did Imperial Brawley, where some lady did a comment from Imperial, said the broadcast was great, but that, we didn't know too much about the other team. Like, we would just say their number, not their name. And there was nothing to the, and for, there was a whole 100% truth to that, there was, because I didn't know those. I didn't know that team.
Yeah.
From that point on, dude, I tried to do my homework. I watched film. If we had film on that team, I'd watch it, man. I watch film.
Yeah, that's what makes them so good.
I'll just watch film. I'll write down numbers, look at the roster, and figure it out, man, and make something up. Ad lib, dude. Yeah, because that's what we're in for. We're to me, when we do a game, it's to when we were just audio, we're the eyes of what you can't see when it's audio. But when you have visual, dude, you have to. We're still learning, man. We're still just like you guys are learning on your show.
Exactly.
You want that flow. You want that flow. You want things to go well. And in order to do that, you need to know what you're talking about.
100%, 100%.
Yeah, but honest to God, when people rip me for that, hey, dude, we were the voice of the Wildcats. We were the Wildcat station, whatever you want to call us, Channel 3, Wildcat station.
Yeah.
But now we're trying to be more biased, and I try my best to do that.
So they try to be equally as excited when the other team scores down.
Because
equally,
basically,
no, dude, but it's hard because when I want Central to get beat, damn, why did he drop that? Dude, he had it.
You got to catch it, damn it.
But that's the kind of feeling, a vibe I want to give out sometimes. Like, hey, when you're watching again with your buddies, everybody, what's going on? That's just the kind of vibe, man. It's not that I'm trying to be entertaining, but that's when I'm watching a high school game, guys, dude, that's what I see. I'm not worried about it because I'm not coaching. I'm a spectator, and I love the sport. So that's basically it.
And look, if you guys love what you're doing, listen, if let's say Hunter went to go do something else, I can actually do a little background on both of you. Just a regular cup, babe, a VSN cup like this. We could talk about you kids, and that's what Ronnie and I like to bring, whether it's like, hey, I remember his dad playing in the 80s, and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff, by living here, knowing these kids, that we have that relationship. So we go to games and we have people come up to us and go, hey, dude, and we know them, they're acquaintances, but they wouldn't regularly say hi to you, but they do come up and thank us, they're just like, we're kind of surprised a little bit sometimes,
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's uplifting, if anything, it's uplifting. And we have, for instance, like, I sent Hunter some information. This whole thing, you better watch out what you wish for, because it's VSN's growing a little bit. Our idea was to start a second crew, but it was going to be really hard for me because COVID came in. This was going to be our year. This was going to be our year, really, man. We had an agenda and a business plan where, like, what we were going to, because listen, let's be real. If you don't have revenue coming in, you can't continue buying better equipment. You can't continue, these guys busted their ass on their own dime to get VSN where it's at. So I'm very appreciative to Jonathan, Joaquin and Ron and all these guys, but they believed in VSN. That was one of the keys.
Yeah.
And I go, look, next year's our year. Next year's our year. Listen, when have you had a CIF Masters? VSN went and did it the first time. Dude, we did that. We did the Holtville one. We did the CIF Championship Wrestling here. Dude, we didn't want to stop because, look, we've never had that before. Let's do it. I talked to Joaquin. Is it possible? He goes, well, if we can do this, I go, okay, let's buy that. Let's do this. And let's do it. Nobody else would have did it. Now, Southwest, I just talked to Ruben Valenzuela. He goes, hey, Will, they want everybody back. They want to have it at Southwest again and VSN again. So it's taking those chances because, and I'll tell you one thing about chances early on in the day. I don't know if we had started yet or we'd finished a year, but me and Joaquin and my wife went to a publishing place, an advertisement place in El Centro. And, we were like, oh my God, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. These people want to help us out how to grow our business. And he goes, oh, okay. Well, come here and sit down. They sat us down and he started talking to us and he goes, well, okay, the way I see it, and I could see this guy goes, okay, well, I'm just going to give him as a friendly advice, okay, go get your parents like they do in Little League, and then go ask every parent for $20, and then that'll be your guys' revenue. I walked out of there. First of all, I walked out of there embarrassed. Yeah. I go, this guy, this is where he thinks we're at. And I go, and he goes, that's what we do in Little League. And then Pop Warner, you go ask your, you go, okay, kids, get out of the back of the truck and go knock on that door.
Run knock on the doors and yeah.
So I go, and that was his mentality towards us. And I go, I didn't feel that's where we were at. So you know what? I hope the guy sees us where we're at now, personally.
Yeah. It's always fun to, anytime you put yourself out there in front of people, I mean, you're open for, criticism, and but it's
hard too.
And being a competitive person, and being, I mean, even more so, I think, coming from the background that we all come from, is you don't want to lose. You don't want to at anything, right? You want to prosper in all the things that you do. So it makes it difficult when someone's looking at you and judging where you're at and going, well, that's not what I'm seeing. So it's always good to that good feeling to be able to go, no, see, I told you we're a different spot. We're doing this now. Yeah, but it does make you reevaluate stuff. Okay, if they're seeing us that way, when I go sell this to people, do they see that? So, and this is where the hard part came in. COVID came in, of course. And, listen, we all have jobs, so we were going to be okay regardless. But look, we had equipment. I go, Ron, Joaquin, Jonathan, I go, look, we got equipment. We could either sit on equipment or we can go out there and do it again. Guys, we're already in the hole. What the hell? Yeah.
So these guys said, nah, let's do it. And not only that, let's raise the bar. I think Jonathan really raised the bar, and then with Jalen Fong, I mean, adding the editorial part, he really did it. So one thing that was hard, and people don't understand, especially people that work with us. And I mean, most of us do, but it is kind of hard because, well, why aren't you selling ads right away? Why aren't you selling ads? Hey, why isn't revenue coming in? Look, I wanted our product to be good, or in a sense where like people were talking about it. Look, I don't want them calling me, hey, listen, man, there was only there was a game recently. You couldn't even get sound for the whole first half. Okay. Yeah. It breaks up. I don't want people calling me, hey, you're representing us. You're representing us. I don't want that. Yeah. I don't want, I mean, I want it. And I say perfection, we're not there yet, but gosh, dang it, man. I'm doing everything. Well, we're doing everything that we can to be there. We're going to give you a good show. We're going to give you a good product. And then only then till I felt it was comfortable for us to go out and sell ads. And in 3 hours, Bo, we had a lot of support.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what's great about the Valley too. I mean, because there are plenty of people out there that would support this because they come from athletics. Their kids went through athletics. They have businesses that, Brawley's a huge town for that kind of stuff, to support stuff like that. But Holville's got plenty of them, and which you have some of those on there already. And so does El Centro. I mean, there's guys everywhere, business everywhere, whatever, that would support this because they know, they like to get behind things. I think generally they do. And, so.
Yeah, well, I know it was tough probably with the pandemic and everything, not having football this past fall, but I would think with, limited attendance and stuff that this live streaming would be more in demand. So how has kind of viewing been so far this past month?
Over the top. The top. So, and okay, so you ask that and then you go, well, where do we compare it to? So we compare it to people that have another live stream. I mean, we eightfolded them. Without a doubt. Wow. So we feel positive. And look, I like going head to head because look, without competition, dude, I don't have no drive, to be honest with you. You guys don't have no drive. Yeah. Whether it's like, gosh, dang it, that guy's mowing his yard. I got to go mow my yard too. I'm not going to have my yard looking bad. Yeah, I mean, it's just whatever it is.
No matter what it is. Yeah.
No matter what it is, we all have that. All of us, because look how long we're still involved in the sport somehow. Look how long we're still involved. Hunter, look how long he achieved more than anybody, not anybody, but than most people do in Imperial Valley, play at the level of football that he played. And look, he could have given up easy. He kept going and he played at UC Davis and then to me, I like telling people, one of my kids or Pop Warner kids played at UC Davis,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that.
Exactly.
But get back to your point. We like our biggest ranked. This year, of course, it was the Hopeville Brawley game, and so we kind of broke it up when we looked at it. We were really surprised because let's say last year we were kind of even. People were 60 and 60 viewers. Okay. And I thought that was a little bit, I really thought that was a little bit pre-COVID. It was about 60 and 60 because all your numbers are on YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff. All your numbers are on. So when we did the Brawley Hopeville game, I mean, we were 850 plus, and to me, it was like, oh my God, this is pretty freaking cool. And we had issues and everything was good. And it was like a relief. It really was a relief because when we looked at the other people that live stream, I mean, it was like not even close. So we were very proud of that. But it comes to that goes back to Joaquin with the quality of our product. And and Jonathan pre-amping that. I mean, if you guys saw that video, if you didn't get goosebumps around that, bro, there's something wrong. It's not that there's something wrong with you, but you're just not a high school football fan.
You just you don't feel what football what that means. You don't because that was instantly but that video was like it gets you a little fired up inside. It's like all right, it's time. And so of course last year our first Bell game we had that's our biggest viewers, and we had 16,000 views right now. So when you start doing that, and then our first telecast, it was Imperial Brawley, and we got off the field, and a ref came up to me, and then the numbers were going 1.6, 1.8, 1.9, 2,000. What the hell is going on? And I mean, so we were trying to figure stuff out, and like I said, with Joaquin, he goes, hey, listen, we had two venues. We would have Facebook and we would have YouTube, but it's just when you go with YouTube, your quality of your picture is so much better. And so, and so let's just stick with one venue. And, and then Joaquin gives me the numbers. He tells me why he goes, this is why we do it. And I want every venue. He goes, it really doesn't make that much sense if you just go with one venue. But that's what he does. I mean, next, he comes up with stuff I'd never even heard of that makes sense, and we go with it. Yeah.
That's just what he does. It's great. But, I mean, and it's fun. To tell you the truth, it is kind of fun. Now, I do miss being on the field as a referee, watching all you guys, I mean, it's different. I prefer on the field. I just, couldn't do it physically anymore, but than being upstairs because of I don't have to deal with a lot of people. When I'm on the field, look, nobody's there to see a referee. You just want to get the hell out. You come in, do your job, and you get the hell. Your best job you ever did refereeing was the one that nobody ever knew that you were there.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then, Ron's been 30 years plus coaching at Brawley. So and I've also been blessed and lucky that we had this core of people that actually enhanced all VSN skills, to be honest with you. I don't know how in the hell I got so lucky. So
during that quarantine period, were you guys working on your equipment and your product kind of?
Well, during the quarantine, we didn't know which way we were going to go. We were getting ready to do basketball. Okay, you know what? We're going to do baseball. Hunter, we were 2-3 days away from going to Yuma to go do football. All right. Remember? Yeah, we were going to go do football. And then we didn't do the football because they ended the season 2 weeks. So we were going to do the rivalry game, and then they stopped it because of a COVID outbreak. Okay, well, you know what? Let's go do basketball. So the week before we went to go do basketball, we said, listen, what if something starts in the Valley? How can we leave Yuma? I mean, I talked to Cathedral Catholic and Yuma and not Yuma, it was a Kofa and Cibola, because those were and Hill Ridge. So Yuma Catholic, right? And so we were ready to go because we were going to do sports. And
you were going to do the stuff over there.
Yeah, we were going to do it over there. Heck,
yeah.
Jalen, Joaquin, and myself, and we were going to go over there. Listen, if we just we're going to do something. Let's showcase our stuff over there. Yeah. And then made the decision with a week to go. Look, if we go over there and do their basketball, because we're going to do a little bit of wrestling too, and then something starts here, we could be in trouble and piss people off on both sides. So, and then it worked out for us that we didn't go, but we had their support to go over there and ready to go. And that was my call.
Yeah.
Wow.
People here like Jalen and Joaquin, I'm not going to say they weren't happy, but they did want to go. But I wanted to stay here just in case and not leave them hanging if it didn't happen. So we still got the door open over there. He knew our situation. It wasn't a big deal. And also, you look at it again, it's a big expense going to Yuma. So you talk about dedicated guys here to want to go over there and do stuff, especially during the pandemic when everybody don't know what's going on and stuff. Yeah, it's a good group of dedicated people that just want to bring our product to people's living rooms.
So for you, off of that, what's the vision for VSN as you guys continue to look forward, right? I mean, you're almost done with this season, and what's the vision, and where do you anticipate, moving next?
So Ron, myself, and Joaquin, we've been discussing, and with Jono, there's a lot of discussions going on, and we were first gonna, just get our broadcasting crew where we felt it was comfortable, and then let's make sure that we're good where we're at, and then we can concentrate on the second one. And what happened was, of course, football came in, and everything else is out the window when football's here. I mean, I got tunnel vision when I'm focusing on the games and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was talking to John Moreno in Calexico, John Moreno, Vic Carrillo, and I've known him for years, prior to football and stuff, and good friends of mine. And then so we've been thinking about, I go, John, consider doing this. It's something you want to do. They were working at a radio station from out of Mexicali. They were paying a big fee. And I go, John, it's just pretty interesting. So this was going on, 6 months earlier, prior to the start of football season. So the more we talk, and then he saw our broadcast and it went over the top. He goes, look, this is where everything's going anyways, so we talked a little bit more. Ron's in charge of the broadcasting at VSN. He's the coordinator. Joaquin is the product manager, the production manager. So, these guys, we all talked and we go, hey, listen, here's an opportunity for somebody to join that we trust, because listen, we would have had to go do interviews. I didn't have time for that. Yeah. That's like, okay, I got to go leave 2 people somewhere and they got to gel and they got to get along. They get a tech guy, they got to do this. So me and John kept talking over the phone, and then Joaquin, Ron, and Ron was busy with football. So we just kept talking. And then I think John and we pulled the trigger. He goes, look, I want to join. And I think this Friday night, this tonight being Thursday night, tomorrow night, they're going to make an announcement. They're leaving their radio station and going to go under the umbrella of VSN.
That's exciting.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. For a couple of guys, a couple of people going into a room to, their magazine producers and stuff, and telling us, hey, go to parents, to like, now we're expanding to what I think is a very legit duo in the South End.
Yeah.
They're well known, they're educators, people, and that's the important part. If people trust them to go to places, to their stuff, and do stuff, instead of sending 2 kids over there, hey, we're here,
Yeah. Yeah. No, having that experience and that history. I mean, same with you guys, like you said, you being able to walk into coaches and to schools or ADs or whoever you really have to go talk to. I mean, you're known, you're a guy who's been around. It is a little more difficult if you're 22-year-old kid trying to go and say, I'm going to broadcast your game here. Like, no, we're good. We don't need, but having that experience and age behind you, definitely helps get that door open up a little bit more.
I think that was key, because we happen to know Ron knew the coaches from on the field. I knew the ADs from before the games, with communication with the refereeing and stuff. And that's another thing, the refereeing community, John Seaman, Gene Martin, and Alan Phillips, dude, they've embraced us. They want to do stuff with us. I mean, we're going to mic people up next year. David Shaw Imperial will. I have no problem you coming in at halftime. Ron has that in him too. He has it in the booth, which is the part that I like. He has that fire inside, because his enthusiasm towards, he feels what the people feel watching him. So they're all in together. I think we were in the playoff game at semifinal and he started to cry. he started to cry during
and obviously
Hilltop. It was Hilltop.
Hilltop.
yeah, but I mean, you know, that's what makes it tough, you know, because when you feel connected to that program and things like that, it makes it even more difficult, you know, and to separate the emotions of you know, personal emotions from just calling a game, I'm sure. And but it is difficult when you
football, you guys know it, man. Well, I've been doing it for a while. Today, man, was our last practice for the Bell game. And you talk about emotion. I can start bawling right now. Not bawling out of sadness, but you walk onto the field and me and John looked at each other and we just looked away. And because, dude, you don't want to see two men with tears roll. It's because it's just sentiment. It's kind of like some hunter that you can feel, man. You look at a guy that's been your friend for a while, whatever, and you're going through something, and hey, man, it's priceless. It's priceless. And that's
I got chills right now just thinking about that right now.
I'm blessed that happened to me, man. And you know, at Bell Week, you know, I went to church on Sunday morning, and like when I came home, me and my wife, we went to breakfast after church. And I said, honey, it's Bell Week. She goes, I know it. I know it's Bell Week. You don't have to tell me, you know. And I'm, you know, so everybody's walking on eggshells around me at home, you know. How was practice today, Dad? Oh, it's great, you know. And I'm honest to God for the, you know, it just, you know, it's really interesting as a coach to see our Monday practice, dude. We've just been rising.
Yeah.
And hopefully, you know, to Friday, Hunter, out as a player, you know, you've been playing, and Justin, how it feels to get there, you know, and it's all on the table now, you know, like what have we set on the table? What's going to come of it? And it's just, you know, dude, football's an emotional sport. It has to be. Yeah. Because, you know, that's just how it is. And anyhow, man, so Bell Week was very special, and, you know, football special to me, guys. And that's why what we're doing with VSN, it's a dream come true. And I'm happy that, you know, the Valley has something to look at. Like I told Will the other day, a couple of weeks ago, hey, man, are we looking over our back to see if somebody else comes in and does the things that we're doing? And if they do, so be it. You know,
let them try.
I don't know. I don't know. And you know, like how good we are, I don't really know. I don't listen. I don't pat myself on the back. I just hope we're doing good stuff, and I hope, man, that we could keep doing it. And Will's built relationships throughout the whole county with the ADs, head coaches. I've known the head coaches, you know, and the whole thing is, and it's pretty cool because it's a networking, you know. If they see that we're giving a good product out to people, they can trust us. And that's what we want to do. We're not, hey, dude, we're not here for the cash. I mean, you know, I'm here for what we eat after the games, you know, eat and drink, dude. I'm happy with that. I've been here with my buddy. He's giving me a chance. And hey, man, I'm going to run with it, dude. You know, I'm going to run with it. So whatever we can do to get better. And it's just like you said earlier, it's the competitor in us. You want to get better. You don't want to be complacent. Hey, man, with your show, you don't want to be lame and just, hey, we're going to stay stagnant. No, man. We want to keep.
You got desires to do something with it. I mean, I've you know, continued like the same thing for us. We want to grow what we're doing. Like I said, we all have jobs outside us, but this is something for us, this is something I want to keep growing. I mean, dude, I reach out to all kinds of people about coming on this thing, and you know, and I always get feedback from people that I shouldn't get responded to. You know, they're people that, and it's going to be exciting because I mean, most people that do podcasts like what we're doing, they have someone that goes and finds guests for them like that. And
he's just like me. Yeah.
I talked to George or message with George Whitfield this morning. You guys know George Whitfield, the quarterback coach.
Hey, I took Ross to Whitfield. Whitfield Academy. I went there.
Yeah.
We went there.
So Whitfield said, yeah, I'm down to come on the podcast. Like, it's just, I'm getting, you know, going to have my boys from Boise. And then, I mean, you know, it doesn't, you know, it's just, I want to, I'm not looking at anyone else. Just like you guys said the same thing, you know, whatever. I mean, we're trying to do our thing and we're going to keep growing our thing. And it's the same thing on that. It's like, you guys are at a point, I think, where you don't have to look around. You just keep elevating what you guys have.
Well, actually, we don't have time to look around, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And we know what it took. We know what it took to get here. And like, I keep harping on this because it's the honest truth. It took, you know, Jonathan, Joaquin, and Ron, you know, and myself being the glue to connect all these people. And and Jalen with the editorial stuff, we got it. I mean, that's my job right there. You know, that was my job. And when all these people, you know, created this, because they were all a part of it. I mean, you guys know Hunter, you're the recent graduate from Raleigh, but Hunter, you know that when you go to somebody from Southwest, when you go to El Centro and you see them, you revert back to the high school days. Hey, remember when this and that? I mean, living in the Valley or being from the Valley, you're always going to have that relationship. Now, Bell Week, it's a little bit different. Hey, you stay on your side, I'll stay on my side. But after we all graduate, man, we could just BS with each other from every other school, and and we all can relate to that same thing, and that's something that Imperial Valley has. It. I mean, San Diego doesn't have that. They don't have that. You know?
No, yeah, exactly. And that's what's been cool too. Like, I mean, just growing just everything else too. Like, I mean, my kids go to 760 Sports Academy where Anthony Hellum played at Central, and I think he might be a year older than me, or we're close in age, but my kids go there and he's like, hey, you gotta come over and coach with, like, let's do a team here. Like, but it's just cool to see, you know, once we get out of here, man, we're all about, like, Anthony's like, hey, can you help out this kid? Like, you know, and reaching out to me about helping out a kid with college stuff. And that's what's cool, because once you, like you said, once you get out of that high school where you're in high school, and it's like, I think social media has kind of crossed all these lines anyways, but because we had lines before, right? There was talk to people from Central when you're in high school or whatever. But you kind of, everyone just comes together at the end of it when you get older. It's like, man, we're all in this together. We're trying to make this place better, you know, and providing opportunities for this place that we didn't have when we were younger. That, you know, it'd be amazing if, you know, for a kid to say, go back to your high school, you know, games, be able to watch it, or to hear someone commentate a game of yours and do all those things. It's unique.
Well, when you say, you know, when we go back, I mean, I show a film from Ganesha, which is my last high school game, semifinal game, and they laugh at me. They play that music, you know, it's black and white and it's real, you know, so, you know, that's the way they are. But, you know, it's pretty cool to me. I get a kick out of it, but nobody else does anymore. But things are different now.
Hey, I think, wait, hold on. But I think you need to. So my father-in-law they help us out quite a bit with our kids a couple days a week and stuff. And he was, I told him that we were having you guys on tonight on our podcast. And he was, and he's told me this before, but he said, you know, Will was one of the best. He said, you're the best defensive end he's ever seen down here. And I think you need to put some of those clips on VSN. I think you need to post that. So you need to show people what you guys.
They don't want to see it.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do, man. I would love to see that. I would love to see that stuff, man. Because I know like my brother-in-law, you know, Kurt Rubin. I'm like, I know, watch as a kid. That's who I looked up to as a kid. And when I watch his stuff now, it's the same thing. I'm like, dude, this dude was badass. Like
I used to block for him as a tight end. I used to block for Ronnie. He was class of 81. I was 82. I used to block for him. So we go back that far. And then he was on my side. I was defensive end. He was the cornerback. So we go back that far, you know. So, and speaking of your father-in-law, coach, see, look, he can walk into the booth. He don't even ask me. He just walks in. Dude, Ronnie and I, the conversation, it just goes. There is no pause. Because of that relationship, that we go back, it's
automatic.
Like, hey, come on, like he already knows where his headset's at and everything, you know.
Yeah. Hey, you just got to tell him to not try to don't try to do the play-by-play. Just talk. He gets up there and tries to play-by-play. I'm like, hey, let Ronnie do that. Just jump in, you know. And
he started doing it. I go, what's up, coach?
No, but you know what? How are you gonna tell him to stop?
I know. That's what I was like. I'm like, man, just talk about, you know, the days, or talk about like what, you know. Yeah, he's all pitch outside. I'm like, come on.
He did it.
You know, I mean,
he's over there taking a coffee break in the back right there.
But do you think, both of you guys, I think it's one of the things that's lacking in Imperial Valley, but I see it getting better at the same time. I mean, like I said, Hunter's probably is the youngest one here, and then with you, Ronnie and I have that relationship with our old coaches, even though Coach Lowe was probably the hardest ass coach around, but we had so much respect for him that, you know, I mean, Coach Cato was assistant with Lowe, you know, and, you know, I mean, if I don't give Coach Cato a hug when I see him, I mean, I have so much love for what they did for us.
It's awesome.
You know what? And I mean, that right there, is a story. So I've been around Coach Cato since I was 16 years old, right? So I started dating his daughter when I was 16. And he wasn't coaching at the time. He was still at Brawley, I think. And then he went to Imperial shortly after that to go start coaching there. And then I started coaching with him right away, man. And I gotta be around a guy that walking around just anywhere, go to the fair, right? A 17 or 18-year-old kid. How many people coach, like everywhere? It's like, and he knows someone everywhere, but just to see how respected and revered he is by people all the time, continue, like you said, man, people come up and give him a hug and all that. And that was like my thing, man. Dude, I want to have that connection with all these kids. And that's what the coolest thing is. All these kids that I've been able to, even though, it's a little bit as a coach, like when I coached at Imperial with him, and then I went to Holville and was Demons coordinator there for a little bit. But just then, and all the kids since then, man, is to have that relationship with those kids. It's something else, man. 3 weeks ago, Cloaca that was playing at UNLV, right? He came home, he texted me, "Hey, you guys working out?" And 4 a.m. he's here at my house working out with us, and it's just, and it's that relationship, it's the same thing goes. The same goes for kids still. Donovan Buck, man. If I see Buck, or if I see, Jared Muhammad, or obviously I see this guy all the time, but like all these kids become like my little brothers, and that's the coolest thing ever.
All right. Well, to kind of bring it back, Bell game week. What's
Good.
What's the atmosphere like at VSN right now? What's the preparation like?
Well, I'll start with me. Ron's got a different perspective, because we're doing the stuff that nobody sees. I mean, we went to Southwest High School because we have a game on Saturday, and we had to go get, we haven't been at that school and broadcast from that school. So it was a failure. So now I got to go back again. And I didn't want to do that because it's Bell game tomorrow. So, you'll see us, get all our wires together, get all our luggage together, get everything. And, we're there 3 hours ahead of time, then we'll come back home. And then, we're already set to go there. And that's to say, I was at Brawley setting up make sure everything's tested. We talk about the things. When you see our setup, you're only going to see, you're going to see, we're going to come in, we're going to connect. Joaquin does this stuff, takes about 20 minutes, but it's all that prep work. That's kind of stressful on me because I don't want to let people down, when it comes to our sponsors or our viewers,
Yeah.
So for me, having 2 games, it's a little bit stressful. Took some days off of work just to do that,
Yeah.
And I did get the opportunity to go to Brawley's practice and Central's. And let me tell you something, it is changing. I went to Brawley's practice and, to me, I'm neutral because I have that ability where I've refereed baseball games and I walk in with a different mentality that it's neutral. Now, deep inside, I just like seeing a good play. Whoever it happens, and then I'll reflect of it after the game. But I'm okay with it being neutral, having rep the Bell games before. But, going to both practices, I just sat and watched and I was so comfortable. I was in a good place. I was in a very good place just watching those kids, knowing that they're going to have fun. I mean, because there is nothing like walking on that field and there's 7, 8, 9,000 people just cheering their asses off, and just that, if you don't get goosebumps on that, I mean, shit, you're in the wrong place, man.
Yeah.
So Ronnie's situation is a little bit different, man. They depend on him a little bit over there. So, I mean, he can explain his part, but right now, me and Ron have, tomorrow, I don't know, what is your practice schedule? Because then we come here and then we prep for our broadcast. Hey, listen, this is how we're going to start. And this is what we're going to do. And then we actually, we're getting a lot better and we might be where we're at, but we have a lot of improvement. But I can actually throw a topic. Hey, Ron, man, let me know a little bit about this sophomore quarterback, Ethan Gutierrez. Dude, he'll go on. He'll have his stats. He'll have his 3 previous games. And then boom, and then that carries that conversation. So it's a gelling thing that works out really good between me and Ron. And then I'll throw him a curveball and I'll say, listen, man, rookie Peña, what are some of the things that he has to do? And he goes, look, by looking at film that they've done this good, and he's just on the ball. And he really doesn't. I would say we don't miss a beat when I give him a subject. I mean, he can just carry that. So we talk about those subjects prior to game. And of course, look, we're still fans. We're still fans of the Bell game. So yeah, there's nothing like it. Yeah. I mean, people say, what the hell? It's only a game. Bullshit.
It is for someone who's never played in that game, I guess. I mean, if you've been around it and it's been something that's been a part of you, I mean, it's not just a game, it's a big deal. So I mean, obviously you're going into this game, and I mean, Ron, for you look at the players on both sides of the, obviously you're around the Brawley kids all the time, and you see what Central has on their team. I mean, I don't, because obviously this won't come out before this. So what do you think? I mean, what's your overall thoughts when you look at both sides and what you guys have and what they have?
Well, number one, El Centro's a good football team. You're looking at two good football teams, and in this, whatever you want to call it, this spring season, this pandemic season, it's more or less kind of like the NCAA tournament that just happened, man. You're on a 5-6 game. If you want to be the champ, dude, you got to be perfect for 5-6 games. Yeah. And these are the two schools that have accomplished this right now. They prepped for it, dude. They prepped for it. Brawley and Central. We went AAU. Both schools did, AAU conditioning. We weren't working under the umbrella of schools. So the preparation, dude, it's there. The results are there. These guys were, you have, number one, you have dedicated coaching staff, and then you have kids that are, you have ball players. And like the old saying goes, you don't win with the X's and the O's, you win with the Jimmy and the T. Right. We have a lot of good ball players. Both sides. Central guys, let me tell you something. Just give you my preview of it. Central, they have an athletic bunch, man. Their defense is something else. They run a 4-2-5, and they're all over the place, guys. They're all over the place. They've got the kids in the right positions. They're big. And that's kind of like the tail of the tape for Brawley Central. Central has always been bigger than Brawley. I know I played against bigger Central.
Yeah, kids. Oh no, same.
And that's walking into this game tomorrow night, guys. That's the same thing. The tail of the tape, just like in a box roll, this guy has a bigger reach. He's taller. He weighs more. Hey man, look at the El Centro's offensive line, dude. It's like an offensive from a college. They're 6'5", 300 plus. Yeah. Brawley, we're lucky. I don't think we have a 300-pounder. We may have 270, 280. But you all know this, guys. It's not, it's not the size that counts. It's what's in your heart and what you bring. But let me tell you something, man. So I think it's an even matchup on paper. On paper, it's an even match. I mean, other than the size and all that stuff. But we all know, man, when it comes to game time, big games, are your big players going to show up? Are you going to limit your mistakes? Are you going to execute? And I think those are the three things that you have to be concerned. And all big games, all big games, Super Bowls, college football championship. It's whoever shows up to play, man. Who's going to show up? Who's in the right frame of mind, dude? And who's going to bring it from not when they want to turn it on, but from the bunch, man, from the beginning. Let's do this. Yeah. And as a coach and as a player and playing in the Bell game, that's what you have to do, man. You can't rest on your laurels that got you there. Hey, we're 4-0, we're 5-0, big deal, dude. That doesn't mean jack. That means nothing. We Central whipped Brawley last year. Hey, you better not be thinking about that if you're Central, resting on it, because if you get punched in the face, what do you do? How do you answer? So that's the thing.
No, and this Brawley team right now, I mean, I get for me is I can start with Isaiah Young. I mean, Isaiah Young is a Division I level player in my opinion. We have already talking to some schools about him, and he's definitely has the talent. He's in every game you just see that kid get better and better and better and more confident in the way he plays football, the way he runs, just his vision and everything. It's exciting. Then you look on the other side of that ball and I look at like Skylar Cook, the way he plays football. Skylar reminds me of Tedrick Thompson, not Cedric, Tedrick. He reminds me of Tedrick a lot. The size, the way he comes downhill, the way he just attacks, and I think that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out between those two, because Isaiah's been able to get in the second level on people, and what happens, where's that safety at, and it's going to be an interesting matchup right there between those two.
Well, this is the thing, Justin and Hunter, is this. Both teams have not seen an opponent like they're going to see tomorrow night. So that's a big deal. You haven't seen this kind of speed. You haven't seen this size of catch before, and now it's coming at you. how do you react? And that's the beauty of football is how you react to it, man. You know, how
I feel like I feel like Brawley got a little bit of it though when they played Holville. Holville spread it out. Holville let Torrez go outside and give the 6-5, you know, and make you work for it. And then Holville went away from it completely. I mean, this season, but they in that first game, man. That Holville team, you got the middle backer, the Merton kid was flying around, and then you've got just that Holville team in that first game was impressive to me the way that they showed up against Brawley.
And let me tell you something on that first game. Let me tell you guys, I was like, as a broadcaster, it wasn't in me that night. Why? Because more like a coach, because I couldn't believe what I was seeing at first. And then, hey, believe it or not, this is happening. And why? You look at that Holtville bunch, they had size, Justin. They had size, Hunter. They had size where it counted, man. And yeah, maybe they were small like the old line and stuff, but guess what?
Except for Roman Ordonez is 6'7", 330.
Anyhow, so that's the case. So that's a great point you brought up. Brawley did see adversity.
I felt like they did get a test, and then
had to come back.
And then you saw what Holville did the next week at Imperial. I mean, you guys were at that game, and Holville gave Imperial a game. And without their DeVoe being in the game, and
Iden kid really come out of his shell right there. A little Iden kid's really gonna be a ball player, man.
That's
I'm gonna go change it up a little bit. So Justin asked a question. Do you see why he does what he does?
Exactly.
Scattering report, guys. I'm paying attention to the question that Justin asked him, and he broke it down to, what I love to hear, what people love to hear on the broadcast. That's why I really give him a lot of props for that. He's really good at that. And the thing is, he's not generic. He breaks it down pretty good. He does a really good job. So I'm Ron and I, especially me, I'm at VSN. We're very happy and fortunate to have Ron because, like he said, when he didn't get that other chance, I go, well, shit, dude, that's just better for us, because that's what I want Ron, and that's why he's at where he's at because of the question you asked, and then he broke it down what you want to hear, what you
exactly.
It's a good duo.
Yeah.
And look what you're doing for those guys from Calexico. I mean, who knows how much growth there was with that radio station. The platform you guys are providing them is going to help you guys grow and them.
Yeah, I know. And it is. It's going to be a big plus. We haven't really broke it down where it's going to be, but they are going to say south. So they'll be Southwest, Hopeville, and Calexico and Vincent Memorial. And then, and that's tentatively because nothing, we still got to, cross our T's and dot our I's. But that's what's happening, and that's tentative what the plan is with that.
Yeah, that'll be fun, man. That's gonna be, like I said, just keep putting more exposure out there, and obviously don't ever hesitate. I mean, if you want more information on kids that I'm helping and what's going on with them, to add more little nuggets into what you guys are doing.
Real, you're my resource, man. I appreciate that.
Source,
it's great, and that's what we've been doing. That's what I've been doing. I have guys out there from San Diego filling me in on schools out there in case we have playoffs. We can more or less know what's going on and all that. I have a circle of people who critique what we're doing.
Yeah.
But the more resources you have in anything, that's a cherry on top of everything, man. So we're just trying to get better. Back with this Calexico bunch, Carrillo and Moreno. Hey, man, they're an established group of guys. They've been doing this since I don't know how long. And we learned from them. Hey, well, one thing we did last year, we did Hopeville Imperial. This is when we were just doing audio. And I didn't even know this was gonna happen. We're driving down the highway. We're on freaking Worthington Road at the stoplight. Oh, and Ron, by the way, you'll be working with what's his name?
Murray Anderson.
He's back. Oh, dude. Hey, I refereed a basketball game. I was refereeing basketball the year before, and this dude rode me every possession on freaking Murray Anderson. Well, I can't say what I said about him. But Murray Anderson really will do. Yes, Ron. Anyway, I learned a lot from the guy. He was the play-by-play, and I got to do color but I saw his flow. I learned from, and it's just like, if you want to be good, you really have to work at it. And you have to prepare. And like Wooden says, failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
Yeah.
That's something, a credo as a kid I've lived by, since 7th grade. So what we're doing right here, guys, being on this show, what we're doing on Friday nights, I love it, man. I'm 58 years old. I don't know how many more years we'll be coaching, but as long as we have VSN, and as long as we can bring it to the public, I'm real happy about it, man.
Well, like you said, I mean, even if you can't coach, I mean, it's a way to stay tied into to being involved with football, to being involved with sports or whatever, right? I mean, it allows you to be, you don't have to be there every single day, but still remain heavily involved. Which I mean, I think that's for all of us. That's just it's hard to leave it. It's hard to walk to be away from especially football. But yeah, it's. No, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to watch tomorrow night. I'm excited to listen, and I think it's going to be I think tomorrow night will be a fun game. I think it's going to be an interesting game. I think it'll be a close game.
We'll see.
Do you think you guys will break the record for viewers tomorrow night? Do you think you'll break the record for viewers tomorrow night?
For what?
Viewers, do you think?
Yeah, we'll definitely break the record tomorrow. Definitely.
Yeah, your guys' social media as well, like you said, man, you're putting out the quick highlights, you're doing all that other stuff like that. That stuff's been huge too. And I mean, I think that's, like you said, you're getting people, if they're watching, they're listening watching on a Friday night, and then they're following on Instagram and they're doing that stuff, and then they're getting that quick reaction. They can share that stuff, and I mean, the more kids see it, the more they share it, all that stuff. So I mean, that stuff will definitely continue to help it explode.
Yeah, no, we look forward to it. It's always fun. Hey, look, just going to the Bell game, if we were just fans, it's fun for us, man. We enjoy it. And I'm not saying that you have to play in it or be a ref or a coach or whatever, but if just the pride that each town has is enough to because you're always going to be related to whether it's a band member or a football player or a cheerleader or a coach or whatever. So and then of course you live in that town. So just that part is so fun for me. Of course, we're missing the catacall because it makes it extra special. Because that's always just goes together and stuff. But, no, we live for that. Yeah. I mean, I know Ron hasn't missed one in person. I've been to every Bell game except for 3, and I heard the other 3 on the radio, so I haven't, not at all.
Yeah, man. No, it is. It's awesome. It's awesome. I'm pumped up. I appreciate you guys, and taking the time to even do this with us. And I think it's going to be an exciting little run, over the next several years.
We appreciate you having us on, man. We really do. And, the odd thing is I got a text from Coach Cato. He goes, I mean, it might not even meant to me. That's why I didn't even answer him back. But the text read, hey, I'm taking my wife to the hospital at 2 p.m. I should be able to make it. I don't know what the hell that meant.
All right, I'll fill you in. I think she got a doctor's appointment tomorrow in San Diego. Like, they got stuff. So he's like, yeah, I'm supposed to go on the broadcast, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it back in time. And I'm like, well, I mean, what do you? He's like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, because are you guys gonna stop and have dinner or what? He's like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's they got at 2:00, and then by the time we get out of there, and then like, I don't know.
So, I got that, and then this was like about an hour before we went on air, and I'm thinking, okay, was this for me or? But you don't deny Coach. You don't deny Coach. Coach just walks up there and struts. He does what he does, and you just go with the flow, man.
Oh man, yeah. Like you said, just be like, hey, we got the play-by-play guy, man. Let's chat about the ball game. He's got a million stories, and I think I've heard them all, but they are I don't mind hearing them twice. It's a good time. It's always
always is a good time, man. So, well, definitely. Once again, man, for Will Torrez, Ron Rubio, man, and the VSN crew. I mean, we appreciate you showcasing us a little bit, and I'm very proud of all our guys, man. Jonathan, Jono, Sarah, and Jalen. I'm very proud of those guys because I push them. I really do push them. I mean, because I just I don't know, man. That's the way I was growing up. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that if we want to be where we want to be at, I mean, we all get pushed a little bit. I mean, heck. Yeah. I mean, I get pushed I got one guy that pushes me every week, man. So.
No, it is like I said. I mean, you want to keep elevating what you guys are doing, and you've done that, like you said, man. I do remember your guys' first couple of broadcasts like that, and how much. I mean, you guys go back to that to where you're at now. I mean, it's just embarrassing. Like, yes, man. I was sitting next to a ghost for the first few podcasts over here, and then now, you know, but it just takes time to figure it out.
A little bit less of a ghost now. We're getting better.
You're good.
No, but
thank you.
I want to be more like that, but then we start talking football and I don't stop, bro. I like.
Yeah, me and Ronnie are over here, man. We're just waiting to chat. You guys are.
We just wait to jump in, Hunter. I know how you feel, man.
It's like double dutch, back in the day. You just got to wait for the turn for the jump rope to go around,
Sometimes people don't always want to listen to the OG guys. They want to listen to the young guys that just played, less than 10 years ago, I mean, and that's good. And to me, that's more power to them because a lot of people don't want to hear our stories, but it is what it is, but that was my whole philosophy about that. It's not, I don't want to story tell about my refereeing or coaching deals. I want the younger guy to, and that was, like I said, that was my philosophy. Yeah. But then Ronnie, we just gelled, and then we couldn't stop because we were just going every week, and there was no way we were going to change. And then I felt we kept getting better and better each time.
Yeah.
So,
no, you guys go well together, and kind of that's what I wanted to bring up, because that's kind of what we have here. I think kind of he's 10 years older than me, still young, but older generation. And depending on our guests, he's going to do most of the talking, but I might have some questions or stories to chime in with from a younger perspective.
Exactly.
Except for Robert Platt's son thought we were the same age, though.
Yeah.
He's all, you guys the same age? And I'm like,
come on, dude. We don't look the same age, do we?
Well, I put up, this guy scored all the touchdowns, had all the girls and stuff. I just blocked for him. So
I had to babysit him on defense, man. I was the quarterback with my defense.
Got to pick up the trash. You got to pick up the trash for him.
No, you know what he wanted? And not just him, but all cornerback. Take those two guys out so I can make the tackle. That's the way.
Yeah. Would you come up and get in someone's way? I'll take care of all this.
Yeah. Know your role, buddy.
Number 22 makes the tackle. Everybody goes crazy.
Will's over here taking on like a guard pulley. He's got a tight end on him and everything.
Exactly.
Hey, I'll give you credit, Ronnie. You tackled as a corner though, so that's I know a lot of corners that don't like to come and hit. So
I loved it.
Yeah, but I do think you guys got to put some of those highlights, some of the old highlights. You take some clips on there,
black and white footage.
And we just know how to figure to transfer reel to reel to DVD or however to do it.
Record that thing on your phone, man. Yeah. I think people would love to see some old stuff like that. It's a unique perspective, like things that you've seeing the guys play that are sitting over here talking and like that. Seeing some clips of this, man. I think that would be really cool for people to see that.
We'll do a show like that.
Trust me, they don't want to see it. I tried. My kid even laughs at me, man. They just laugh at me. They start playing that music. It's not.
No, man. No, I appreciate it. I think there's more to the story later on, and I'm excited to continue to watch. Watch you guys. Can't wait to watch tomorrow night. I look forward to it. And if there by chance we get any playoffs or anything like that after that, I mean, amazing. So,
No, in fact, I would like to invite you guys for a halftime interview one time. To get the word.
That'd be sweet.
As soon as let's get rid of this pandemic. It's a little bit hard upstairs, but let's go upstairs and we'll talk a little bit. And where we could set something up. Hey, look, we've been keeping an eye on some of the kids that you've been working with or know of. Showcase them a little bit. And even I think Ron is one of the things he wants to do is start doing that weekly podcast with just high school. But that could be something that we could work together. And this is some of the but I don't know. We're trying to,
around.
we're trying to, we want to get where we want to be at with the VSN broadcast. And like I said, Jonathan, I think he's excelled, like I mentioned earlier. And then Joaquin has just really done an excellent job. And then our new addition, Jalen Fong, just, kicking ass for us. I think I'm comfortable. And if we can keep adding stuff, I think BSN will be able to be continued.
Yeah.
So
no doubt.
Got a good team.
Like you said, man, this thing's just beginning, so that's exciting. And I know the Valley, it's something the Valley's needed. And we've never had great coverage down here, and that's what's really cool. Like I said, you guys aren't just about one school or anything necessarily. You've been I've been very fair over the games that I've listened to, so it's been enjoyable. And I think I think everyone, I see all these kids from these other schools that are liking the stuff that you posted for the social media and kind of all that stuff. So it's you're reaching that demographic too. So it's cool to see that.
Well, once again, we appreciate you having us on, man.
Yes, sir. Good luck tomorrow night, and we'll stay in touch, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having us.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.